The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
The content heard on the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultation with healthcare professionals.
Hi, this is retired Army Captain Dr. Tommy O'Brien. For 25 years, I devoted my practice and military career to not only medically treating my patients, I have educated and guided them to a healthier lifestyle which improves the quality of their lives. Please contact me by visiting drtommyo.com. That's drtommyo.com. As an osteopathic medical physician, I am able to offer more than one would expect from an MD. I apply hands-on manipulation in concert with medical treatments to not only treat the illness, but the effects as well. Additional services I provide include medical weight loss and medical marijuana. Please contact me by visiting drtommyo.com for an immediate appointment. If you don't have medical insurance, or if your medical deductibles have not been reached or are very high, I offer an easily affordable membership program which allows you unlimited visits for a small monthly premium. Please contact me by visiting drtommyo.com. drtommyo.com, or call 631-980-8200. That's 631-980-8200. And let's put you on the track to a better health and better healthcare at an affordable rate. Welcome to the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show. I am your host, Dr. Thomas O'Brien. The Ask Dr. Tommy O Show can be heard every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on 103.9 LI News Radio. I offer a very affordable concierge practice at the price of less than the cost of a monthly cell phone bill, which allows you access to the quality care you really deserve. With no rush office visits, both you and I can discuss your healthcare needs. To learn more about my practice, go to drtommyo.com. That's drtommyo.com, or give me a call at 631-980-8200. That's 631-980-8200. If you wait, it may be too late. Something very important. One of my greatest honors was serving in the Army and caring for our troops and our vets. So if you are active, or if you're a vet and you're looking for a physician, we're family. Come and see me. To my military family, I got your six. To my Masonic brothers, the light is bright. Today's topic, healthy living environment. Part 2, indoor pollution. A healthy living environment is safe, attractive, invites everyone to engage, promotes a healthy lifestyle, and is a pleasant place to live in. I'm here with Casey, okay? So we're going to go through because I invited her back. So Casina Claudio, passionately known as Casey, welcome back. It was important for me to have a part 2 because we introduced what Casey does, but I want to also tie this in so you have an understanding of a unhealthy environment, a living environment, specifically your home, how it affects your health, physical health as well as your mental health. So Casey, she's passionately known as Casey. She's the owner of Overturned Cleaning, who holds several certificates with the New York State Green Cleaning Program. In previous previous shows, I said it's important to have a certificate. Why? Because you meet a certain level of expectations set by a governing body. To learn more about Overturned Cleaning, go to overturnedcleaning.com. That's overturnedcleaning.com. Casey, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Tommy O. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely. This is an important topic that's overlooked by all professions. My profession as the medical profession, it's just something we don't consider. And then we have to have hire individuals such as yourself that have those certificates to help improve their living environment.
Absolutely. Actually, in hindsight, you can say cleaning prevents and then you save.
That's right. That's why we say if you wait, it may be too late. Let's not wait and for the dust and environmental pollutions to build up, and then you have a medical condition that I must treat.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go through some environmental pollutants that people don't really take for granted or just overlook. So first, let's talk about mold.
Yes, so mold. If we were to say, what is it? Mold is a fungus that grows in the form of a multicellular. And also, in contrast, it could be fungi, and it can adapt, and it could grow, and it inhabitates and goes into habit, which is called yeast. And where does mold come from? Mold comes from leaks. They thrive off leaks. They thrive in damp and humid places, particularly in an active leak or in a roof. And mold can grow pretty much anywhere. It can grow anywhere.
Right. We know a dark, moist area with very little ventilation. Mold loves that. It multiplies. Now, just imagine if you're living in a house with a lot of molds, okay? Because you're going to inhale the not the mold itself, but the spores. Okay, and if you have some sort of autoimmune disease, if you have immunocompromised medical condition, you have asthma. This is going to affect that, and you'll have to come to me so I can treat that condition.
Absolutely, and with the mold, the causes really it could be severe respiratory issues, coughing, postnasal drip, sneezing. I mean, that's just to name a few. So, yeah, it's detrimental.
Absolutely. Well, now we know in the South, Brian, I always reference the Bronx because I was there for 16 yeyears, and we said that because of the pollution, it was not just the pollution from the cars and the buses. We were talking the pollution of the home itself, the rats, the dander from the pets, as well as the roaches and so forth. Inhaling that, sleeping in that environment, and that's why the asthma, besides the genetic factor, because that plays a huge role, but this increases the risk for having an asthma attack.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, so let's go on to the second, okay? Something that we overlook every day and something we use every day, dirty bed sheets.
So it's, changing your bed sheets, it's proper hygiene. It's important as brushing your teeth every day. Without regularly changing your sheets, you're actually contributing to your allergies, to skin breakouts, to asthma. And you have to think about this. We always say pet dander, but us as humans, we shed dead skin. And dead skin, actually, dust mites thrive on that. So when you see sometimes kids or family members, my eye is itchy. Okay, before you go and get checked, did you change your bed sheets? Because like I said, they thrive off that. And people mislook. And it's underrated as far as bed sheets when they should be changed regularly. They should be changed at least once a week, and they should be washed in extreme hot water,
right,
to prevent that.
Right. Exactly. A lot of people are just like, well, I'm going to wash them maybe once a month. No, you can't because you're sweating. We shed, skin cells. And it's just, again, a warm, dark environment. You sweat. Now, if you have diabetes, you're sweeter. Okay. I always say sweeter. And so you're going to have more bacterial infections. You can get skin infections, bed sores. So we want to prevent this by having a healthy routine of washing your sheets once a week. The next would be the heating and cooling vents.
Yes, so cleaning vents, and this is very underrated, and it should be taken more seriously. I can't stress this enough. Most of the time you look at your ceiling, more specifically in the bathroom, and you're like, that's a lot of dust. Once again, that those dead skins. And think about it. When you're turning on that switch, that's all blowing down to you. That is triggering you. If you have asthma, if you have allergies, that is so triggering you. And that should be cleaned. It should be soaked. I recommend taking it out. Taking a brush and scrubbing it, letting it soak for 15 minutes. This also plays with the air. So, this, like I said, it's very underlooked. It should be checked regularly. And I suggest, these are the things as far as my company we look at. These are things we look at, even in the AC. People don't think about that, but your AC, could you imagine it's blowing that air when you open that up, how much, dust it has in there.
Right,
that's
right.
very underlooked. And that's a vent that's coming out, that's blowing air when it should be taken apart. And it should be cleaned. Right,
exactly. Like if you have central air and central heating, it is recommended to change your filters. I think it's like every 3 months at the beginning of the summer and at the end of the summer. So every 3 months you have to change your filter. A lot of people don't change their filter, or they don't have a filter at all.
Yes. And actually that can promote too, if it's extra dusty, that can promote mold growth also, believe it or not.
Absolutely. So you're pushing the mold and mildew, your indoor pollution, the pollutants all around, and you're inhaling it because a lot of those vents are typically over where we work. All right, so we got about a minute left. So if I am a client or if I have a commercial business or residential owner and I need a cleaner, how would I be able to contact you?
So my number is 631-966-0686. And also my website is www.overturncleaning.com.
Very good. All right. So like I always said, let me help you lead a happier and healthier life. Let's look at that living environment. Give Casey a call. Let her inspect your home. Or if you have a commercial space, let her come in. If you're not feeling well, you're fatigued because, you can develop chronic fatigue syndrome because you're living in an environment that's every single day, every moment that you're in your home, you're inhaling these pollutants. It's going to break down your immune system. You're going to get weaker. So come on in, see me. Let's do a history and physical. We'll do routine blood work, and then we'll sit down together and go through what needs to be addressed, if anything needs to be addressed. So to learn more about my practice, go to drtomio.com. That's drtomio.com, or give me a call at 631-980-8200. 631-980-8200. Welcome back to the Ask Dr. Tomio Show. I am your host, Dr. Thomas O'Brien. Today's topic, Healthy Living Environment Part 2, Indoor Pollution. So one of my hooks here, it says, let me help you lead a happier and healthier life. And if you wait, it may be too late. That's so important. I'm not just saying that. They're not more than catchphrases. This is something that's so important. We need to address our environment. In this particular show, the environment we live in. So all home environment pollutions will be detrimental to your health. An increase in asthma, skin irritations, fatigue, chronic fatigue syndrome, weakened immune system, and mental health are all affected by our environment, okay? Specifically, the environment we live in. So, Casey, welcome back, and let's continue with our list of environmental pollutants. All right, so we're going to start off with bath mats. Something that we all have. It's right in front of the shower. You step out, you step on the floor, and you have a little towel there, right?
Yes, actually, floor mats in general. If we think about this, right? Floor mats, right? When you're going into someone's house, generally speaking, floor mats, period, is your first line of defense against spreading germs, bacteria. Think about it. Somebody wiping, dusting their feet, wiping it off. It's the first line of defense. And it actually traps dirt and moisture up to 80%, not to mention preventing slipping, and it keeps your floors clean, reduces pollution. And you can always, as far as floor mats in the bathroom, in the house, you should wash it. More so specifically in the bathroom, with the moisture, I'd say if you have a cleaner, maybe you can, every 3 weeks, get a wash in, get a good dry so that it's nice and clean and it's not having any kind of buildup or moisture.
Absolutely. We know that this is a breeding ground for loads of hazardous bacteria, mold, and dust mites. So the next topic we're going to cover is cigarette smoke.
Yeah, so smoking actually, it's we know physically the harm that it does, but also we know there's a secondhand smoking, a third-hand smoking. Yep. But smoking has it builds up on your walls and your air filters, even in your AC. And it's actually harder to remove than soot, which is, people don't expect that. But smoking, the smoke itself, it's harder to remove those stains than soot. And they stain your walls.
Right. You see that yellow staining on the walls. People don't even realize it because they're looking at it every single day, and they see a white wall, and 10, 15, 20 years later, the white wall is now a yellow wall.
Yes. And they say when you smoke in your house, we don't promote it, but smoking, it actually takes to clear up in someone's house like a month. So that's crazy if you think about it. So you could be done smoking, but that air is still lingering and it's staying on the wall.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, if you have a difficult time, with smoking, because the addiction is to the nicotine, you can give me a call, and then I can help you address that addiction. There's all different ways we can treat it. I know a lot of patients, they've tried all different ways to address this issue and have failed. You really have to set a timeline and say, I want to quit. You have to make that decision, and then you have to stick with it, and you have to have a program, a plan. All right, so let's go on to the next one of our favorites, a family member. All right, our pet.
Yes, so pet dander, it's allergens, whether it be from a cat or from a dog, and it's found in when they shed. So just like how humans, how we have, dust and that's all over, pet dander is times 3. And it's actually not just limited to their hair. It's actually in their urine and their saliva. So with that being said, that accumulates. So someone who has severe allergies, it's always quick to, take this, but let's once again look at our living environment. Let's look at what's contributing to these triggers, and pet dander is one of them. So if we clean up that environment, that can help you as far as a healthy living, not needing, for example, maybe you can, as far as if you're prescribed something, it can lessen because now you're cleaning your environment. Those triggers are not coming as aggressive as they were because you're on top of cleaning your home.
Exactly. You don't need enough medication. We can do it more naturally by cleaning your environment. This is a tough one because your pet is part of your family, becomes a family member, and then they have a tendency to sleep on your bed. They're drooling on your bed. They lick the sheets. They snuggle up.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. So, and when you speak to someone and say, well, the reason why you have chronic fatigue or your asthma, you have triggers, you're having asthma attacks several times a year is because of your pet, and they don't want to hear it. It's just, it's because it's really tough to address. Well, not to address it, but to actually treat it, because it's more than just prescribing the medication. We have to address the environmental.
Absolutely, and that's once again, underrated. And if that's the approach, if we look at that firsthand, we can definitely do a checklist and say, okay, this definitely is going to help. Your home is where you are the most.
That's right. Especially the bedroom, depending on, you're sleeping, because you're going to sleep at least, depending, let's say 8 hours, but so you're inhaling the vent, the AC vent, blowing hot air or cold air on you, and then your pet is on you. So now you're having all that mold and mildew, and the pet, the what we call protein, the dander, which is the skin, you're inhaling that. And that's the reason why you have chronic fatigue. One of the reasons why you have chronic fatigue syndrome. All right, let's go into your vacuum.
Yes, and with vacuuming, it's good to vacuum, of course, but it actually too also it blows dust. Yeah. Bags or containers full of dust, it stores it, and it could actually cause your allergies to spike, and dust mold settles in there, and it will uproot. And it like when we think about, dusting or sweeping, right? Like, when you say heat rise, it's the same thing with dust. So it's all up in the air, and it takes time to settle. But it's kind of like here you are vacuuming, but in a sense you're spiking it. Right. And for people with allergies or asthma, I wouldn't recommend, if, you have a pet, or, I would recommend somebody else to vacuum so that those triggers don't come, because there's different levels. Somebody might have a mild asthma episode. Somebody might have a more severe.
Right. It's tough. It's really tough. I always say, how bad do you want it? If you're starting to see yourself, just routine infections, chronic, your upper respiratory tract infections, asthma attacks, you're kind of chronically fatigued, we have to start looking outside of the box. Living environment that must be addressed. So that's where Casey comes in. She'll inspect your house, and then sit down, go over everything with you, and we can clean.
And I do want to say too, as far as vacuuming, we're in a new age where if somebody has something newer, we kind of go with the flow. But I have to say, in vacuuming, it's better to have a bag than to have a vacuum that is bagless. Right. And people are going to say, why? Because that's trapping in all the dust. Think about that. You're not dumping the container. It's concealed, which will help if somebody has these allergies or asthma.
Right. Well, you should have a HIPAA. Not HIPAA, the filter. I'm going to say HIPAA regulations, but the HEPA, right?
Yes.
The filter itself, that will help with the contaminants as well. All right, we have about a minute and a half left, so let's go over filthy refrigerator drawers, and then we'll close out the show.
Yeah, so having an overstuffed refrigerator messes with the air ventilation. Actually, it could also, food poisoning. And you don't want that. And believe it or not, the fridge is one of the most important appliances in our home. So it's important that it's thoroughly cleaned. And, they do say 3 to 4 months cleaning. I totally disagree with that. You're putting market in weekly or bi-weekly. You should be wiping it. It should be thoroughly clean and disinfected with hot water. It could be vinegar, lemon juice. It's good because, like I said, this is something the whole family is in touching it. So it's underlooked. It should be cleaned more.
Okay, so we're wrapping up the show. We have 40 seconds left. If someone needs to contact you, because I'd like to have your service.
My number is 631-966-0686. I can also be reached at my website, which is www.overturncleaning.com.
Excellent. Well, Casey, thank you for being on the show and educating our listening audience. My name is Dr. Thomas O'Brien, and I offer a very affordable concierge practice located in East Patchogue, New York. To learn more about my practice, go to drtomio.com. That's drtomio.com, or give me a call at 631-980-8200. 631-980-8200. Thank you. God bless.
The content heard on the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultation with healthcare professionals.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.